Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. Welcome to day 9 of our Christmas countdown series. In these videos, we are doing something fun every day in these cute little junk journals that we created. If you do not have this little junk journal, you can go back and watch the unboxing of my kit or video number 1 to see how you can make your own little journal. All right, so today is December 9. How does this month always go so quickly? We've done some really fun things. At least I think they've been fun. I hope that you're loving them as well. And yesterday we put these little trees on, which I think was just a fun way to use something that otherwise would have been thrown away. So just kind of a fun little thing there. All right, so today we need our journal, our gold pen, our black pen, a pencil, and then this little kind of tan colored piece of paper that was included in your kit. If you do not have the kit and you do not have this, you're simply going to draw a rectangle on your page. Okay, we're just going to use this to trace today. All right, so I'm going to find the spot on my page and we're going to make a little tree. So this tree can be in the middle of your page, it can be up on top or down on the bottom. It could even be in the middle right here, which would be really cool, but I think I'm going to have a hard time drawing across the crease. So I'm going to put mine down here, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to give myself a rectangle to work in. We're doing it in pencil so that we can go back and erase it later. There's my little rectangle. Okay, go ahead and make yours. If you're making your own, mine is about 4 fingers tall. And my goodness, it's not a square. I don't know. It's 4 fingers wide and 4 fingers tall. I'm not sure how, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm going to pick up my gold pen and I'm going to draw a triangular Christmas tree. I do not want it to take up the whole space, but I also do not want it to be too tiny. I'm going to put a dot towards the top so I know where I want to start. And then I'm going to go down, down, across, and then we're going to put in the little base as well. So I have just a little bit of space down here, a little bit of space up here, and a tiny bit on each side. And I'm going to put my top back on my marker. And I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go around the outside and the inside. When I do this, I can either trace right on the line, or I can just go near the line, more of like an aura. Then I don't have to concentrate so hard. I love the black and the gold and the sage color. I think that looks so nice. I'm going to go around the inside of the base as well. Okay, now I'm going to draw a line down the center. Then I'm just going to put some little decoration in here. I'm going to come down that middle and then give a little curl this way, down the middle, and a curl that way. Did we do that on one of our other ones? We did not. My cat just answered no. Okay, then we're gonna go down again and then curly Q over to the side and curl and touch the other side. It's up to you if you want them to touch the little spiral above it or not. Curl down and out. And we're just filling in these spaces. It's so pretty. I'm gonna try to fit 2 more in here. 1. And then I'm gonna try to squeeze in 1 more. Let's see if I can do it. It looks a little squished, but that's okay. For the bottom, I'm just gonna do some diagonal lines, but you could do anything you want. Okay, we're gonna do something that is called embedded letter. So E-M-B-E-D-D-E-D, embedded. And in the Zentangle community, they do these incredibly beautiful and detailed embedded letters. Last year we did it in our Christmas series. Let me see if I can find it in our little book. We did it with the word joy. Of course, I should have had it ready to show you. Here we go. Okay, that's an embedded letter. So we did these nice thick letters, and then you put all these little designs around them and aura them. It's just a really fun, calm exercise. I love it so much. So instead of doing a word this year, we are going to do our little tree. So the first thing you do is put an aura. We already did 1 line, but I'm going to do a second one. So I'm just going to aura along the outside. It's amazing what adding an aura does to a picture. It just makes it look elegant. It makes it stand out. So pretty. Okay, there are no rules to doing these embedded letters. You can put anything that you want, but I'm going to focus on 3 things. I'm going to do fescue. Fescue is the little curve with like a teardrop on the end. I'm going to do some circles, and I'm going to do flux. Flux is like a long upside down teardrop. Those are the 3 things that I'm going to focus on. I also want to focus on kind of filling this space. The reason I drew this is just to give myself a guide if I end up with too much over here and I want to even it out, or if I get kind of carried away to sort of stop at one point. So we don't have to fill this space, but that's just sort of giving us an area to work in. Okay, so we're going to start with some fescue. So fescue is these lines that end in little teardrops, and we can put them anywhere we want around this. So I'm going to do 1 up here like that, and I'm going to fill mine in because I need a little bit of dark, a little bit of drama on this. I'm going to do 1 there and 1 over here. See how I'm just sort of following that outer line and then coming off a little bit. I can do 1 the opposite way. Maybe I'll do 1 that goes down here and out a little bit. Do 1 on the bottom. And down the side, and I'll do one up the side over here. Okay, now I'm going to add a few little orbs or circles. I'm going to put one there and put a reflection in it. Put one over here. You can decide where you want these to go. I like tucking them near the fescue, but they could also be just on their own. Or I could put one over here in this corner. That looks cute. So one of the techniques in these embedded letters that Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas of Zentangle do is where we have these little fescue kind of lifting off, they add a little bit of thickening in there. It's so small and subtle, but it just sort of cements that into that line a tiny bit. So if you want to do that, you can. You could also do it with your circles, but I'm not going to. All right, let's add one or two flux. So flux is going to be like this and have a line and a dot, or whatever pattern you want to put in your flux. So put a few of those in. And you can add some more of the little circles if you'd like. You can add a little bit of that thickening where the fescue lifts off. Okay, now I'm going to aura all of that. So now I just sort of concentrate and follow all of these lines. I really love adding auras. And now I can go into any of those spots that have little deep corners, and I can just add a tiny bit of ink to soften those. And I never worry about getting every single one. It doesn't matter, but it is a fun little technique that adds a lot of what? I don't know. Detail, tiny details, coziness. I'm not sure. So now that we have that first layer done, we go in and do it again. So now we're kind of looking for gaps in where we want to put more things. So I've got kind of this spot over here. I think I'm going to do a fescue and a circle. Can do a little bit of that thickening if I want. I'm going to do one down here. And it doesn't matter what direction these face. It doesn't matter how big or small you make them. This one I just curved. I don't know why. I just thought it would be kind of fun. Add in some more circles in different places. So see this one I just put right here? There's some space on both sides of it, and I'm just going to leave it. Like, you don't have to worry about sort of cutting off an area. We're going to or it. You can add thickening. So you don't have to overthink where these land. I know sometimes these kinds of projects are more difficult. I meant to make that a flux and then it turned into a fescue, but that's okay. I know sometimes these are more difficult because I'm not telling you exactly where to put something, but I also hope that if you're doing this with me, you've got enough confidence to just sort of place them where you think they might look good. Okay, once you've done a few things, then we're going to go back and do another aura. I'm going to start at the top so I don't forget where I started. And I'm just jumping up and around each of these things, getting as close to the line as I can. When you get into an area where it's kind of closed off, you can choose not to go in that area, or you can choose to just sort of embrace that space and do what feels good inside there. You can fill it in, you can add like a little inside aura. And now I'm going to take a moment and so look at this little crevice right in here. I can add a little scoop of darkening in there. See how that just sort of strengthens it? I can darken this whole area if I want. Put some little bits of weight in these. This is one of those things that I find very relaxing. I could just sit and do this around a letter or a word or a shape all day. All right, I'm going to keep going. So now I'm kind of getting to the end of some of my spaces, and then other spaces have a big area left. So it's up to you what you want to do. Do you want to keep kind of this tree shape going? Do you want to fill in the whole rectangle? It's up to you. I'm just going to draw for a couple more minutes and sort of see where it takes me. So I'm going to put in some flux, and don't be afraid to go a little bit large. Just put one there. I can put in an orb. Do a flex over here. I'm really not putting these anywhere in particular. See how I just took this flex and brought it down into here to kind of fill in this area. Could do the same thing over here. Could even add another little circle over there. I'm doing a double fescue up here to kind of take up some space. Look how cute that is. Could do one over here as well. I could make it a double if I want. Can always go back and add that little bit of weight in there. Put in some little circles if you can. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my last aura, I think. And as you're going along, if you find a spot that you feel could use something, then pause and add something. I love that so much. I'll let you finish yours up for a moment, and I'm just going to tell a quick little story that today, December 9th, it has been 5 years since I lost my beautiful mother-in-law, and I'm only bringing that up because she and I started this Zentangle journey together when we enrolled her grandkids, my daughter, and my two nieces. The 3 girls, we enrolled them in a summer Zentangle class with Marjorie Guzin, Zen with Emmy. And the girls had so much fun and loved it so much that Kim and I started taking classes with Zen with Emmy. And we started doing them together. And she always struggled. She was like, my lines aren't good. I don't know where to put things. I don't understand it. It was not the easiest thing for her, but she loved doing it. She loved going to the classes, loved drawing with me. And she passed away at Christmas of 2019, right before COVID, and right before I started doing YouTube videos. And so I just think, so much happens in 5 years, and just how cool she would think this is, that I've got this channel and that people all over are tuning in and showing support. And I don't know, I just think she would find it very special. So the whole time I was drawing, even though I'm teaching, an online course right now, and I want this to be good, it's also relaxing enough that I was able to just kind of zone out and think about my mother-in-law. And yeah, so thank you for that moment. Okay, now that I've got that part done, I thought it'd be fun to add a frame around this. Of course, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but I think it'd be kind of cute. So I'm just gonna put in a gold frame. I'm gonna do it right over my pencil just because I can, it doesn't matter. And I'm kind of lifting my pen in places where, you know, my tangle sort of went out of the frame. And then I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go along the outside. And I'm doing it kind of wiggly on purpose because it won't be straight no matter how hard I try. So let's just embrace the wiggle. Look how cute that is. Then I'm going to go along the inside. And if I get to a spot where there's a tangle, I'm just going to lift my pen and then continue on. If I wanted to fill this area, I could just keep adding little fescue, little circles, and keep auraing it. Or I could just aura and aura and aura and aura just to finish up the space. But I kind of like it just like that. So that is our little embedded Christmas tree, and I love that it goes with the other trees we put on this page. So fun! Thank you for joining me. We will see you tomorrow for day 10. Thanks. Bye-bye.